Hi, how's it going, guys? It's Muftal or FGBFX. So another week again. So let's just jump in. So today I have only two setups for you guys, just two. The reason being, if you had followed most of our setups earlier on the previous analysis video, you see that most of the setups are in profit. So, and one reason why I don't like going back to analyze positions that I'm in is because whenever you are in a position, you lose objectivity. You tend to lose whatever else you are saying. So far as you put money in it, you are likely not to be correct, although we are never totally correct in the market. But when you are in a position, you lose foresight. You can't actually think well because you have money in it. That is why usually we have a plan before we trade. It's not whenever we are in the trade that we start planning. Whenever we are in the trade, we can't actually think right. So the money is influencing our decisions whenever we are in trades. So that's the reason for me. So I only have two setups for you guys. That's the Euro AUD and the pound AUD. So last week it's moved for a little bit. I mean, the pound, for example, was doing very well last week. It really spiked up, and a lot of people made a lot of things. So let's just jump straight right into it. So this is the pound AUD. So I'm starting from the monthly time frame, basically. So you could see that this pair is on a trajectory, the upside, and over here you could see there's a zone just over here, right here. Right here. So people who want to put their lines here can actually do so. Started from here. So you could see on the bigger view that this pair is actually, let me just pull out this. Top down trajectory or something like this over here. I'm sure a lot of people recognize the pattern. Even the Elliott wavers recognize this pattern. So I was very strongly bullish on this pair earlier on. I was strongly bullish that it was going to continue to the top side. But as it seems, the bears have taken over, from the monthly. You see the monthly candlestick. You see what the monthly candlestick did at this. Although he tried to break through and there was a rejection, then the bears were able to take over the market for a while because it closed below the open of this. So when we go to the weekly, you should expect a retest of that zone. What time by a retest? You should expect that after the rejection at the top side, here, after this rejection, you expect a retest, something like this. If not at the top, it should be at least a little bit retracement to the top side. Right. So let's just go to the daily and open it up a little bit more. So I'm just taking my time to start the analysis because we only have two. On the usual, the analysis span over 20 minutes. So basically, this will be around 10 to 5 just to elongate the whole thing. So you actually see how I do my analysis. So you, if we recognize this pattern also, you see that it's more, it looks like a rising wedge. We all know a rising wedge is a reversal pattern, right? A rising wedge coupled with um, rising wedge coupled with a resistance zone, more of a double top. So that should give us extra. That should give us another probability that this might be at a good reversal zone. So now I'm on the daily time frame. Wow. So I'm on the daily time frame. And this is the weekly. Let me just take this down. So on the weekly, we saw that last week, before analysis, you could see that there was a double top around here. There was a double bottom around here when it was going up to the top side. And we can put another trend line in between, you know, just to reinforce the fact that this bounced off this line right here. So there was a double bottom. And if we use our fib, we should know the rule of the double bottom, most usually. So it bounced off the 50 retracement level, which I still feel might continue up to at least the 61.8 level before anything. So the retest that I was talking about earlier on should not get past. Ideally, should be in danger at this top side here. So what I'm saying is this should be in danger at this top side, around this side. So even when we have our trend lines, try to basically on the daily it's ranging to the top side. There's accumulation. So after accumulation, we know what follows, right? So after a consolidation, there's usually a breakout of that pattern. So basically what this looks like to me right now is a good head and shoulder opportunity. So I'll also be looking at this place. So I'll also be looking at this level to further see what might happen. So my zone is basically between here to here. And when we actually zoom out of this, you could see that how the heads and shoulders might play out, right? So we might see something like this, the downside. And if it breaks, we should be looking at something like this. Does it make sense? So now you've identified a setup. This is when what kind of trader you are basically kicks in. What kind of trader are you? Are you a swing trader? Are you an intraday trader? Are you a scalper? So if you identified, I'm a swing trader. So basically, I swing trade on weekly time frame. So I will be waiting patiently to get in at this level around here. So that is what I'll be doing. So I will be getting if my setup finally plays out, there's a difference between a setup and an entry. So when you get a setup and you wait for your entry criteria to be filled, when the entry criteria is filled, you want to get in. So the setup is different from an entry. You might get a setup, but might not get an entry. And an entry criteria filters out your your setup. An entry criteria filters out whether you are going to take a setup or not. So when my entry criteria is filled, like a swing trader that I am, I should be getting at least 1:2 risk to reward ratio from this trade. So if you're a day trader, you want to be, depending on your patience level, you want to be trading in between the range uh, for now, because it's basically in the range. You want to be trading in the range. What I mean that I want to be trading in the range, as a day trader, I'll typically, if I was a day trader, I would probably be in this trade by now. I would want to ride it to the top side because it's actually doing higher highs and higher lows in the smaller time frame. So if I had taken my Fibonacci, perhaps I would have gotten a good retracement level to buy from here to the top side. And basically that's price action. Basically, no news, no fluff, nothing. So as a day trader, you should be already up and doing at this point in time. Yep. So that's all about it. So as a day trader, that should be what you should be looking at. I don't really go past 4 hour, so let me see if I could get something. Yeah, so basically the same thing. Depending on your style, the 4 hour traders are more of scalpers. And they are looking for momentum. So when you enter here, you want to exit here, look for that 5 to 10 pips per trade. Yeah, so basically that's the pound setup, the pound AUD setup. Basically that's it. I have it more Euro AUD, sorry, Euro AUD. So this is it right here. So this will be the first target if this place holds. First target, second target, and that's all. That would be all for me. I don't care about anything else. So that's Euro AED, guys. Have a good look at the top-down analysis. So the pound AED, the pound last week, we're waiting for a particular setup to play out on the pound last week. You see that from over here, actually, if you have been watching the analysis, you would actually have gotten something to write home about. So like I said earlier on, some of the trades didn't fall in my entry criteria, although there was a setup there. So I didn't pick them. So this pound AUD, for example, we're looking for a short opportunity. A short opportunity. I think it was around here. So it happened, I mean, if you are a breakout trader, you'll have probably getting hurt in this trade. But from last week, we said after the retracement, it got to this level and it was supposed to perhaps come down, continue down. If you watch the video, you remember I said I'm bullish on this pair and I'll only be looking for buys. So I marked a level at which I said I'm going to be buying for as a swing trader. So yeah, last week, whatever news happened, because I don't look at the news, I think it should be Brexit no matter what. So there was a break to the top side. It looked as if it was going to continue to the downside, but after the news or whatever happened there, it broke to the top side and it gave us this nice looking flag. So for now, this pair is for intraday traders. Intraday traders, daily, people looking for 10, 20 pips, not very good risk to reward ratios. Very good risk to reward ratios, I mean. So I don't know. To be honest, I don't know how I'm going to play this because I'm not an intraday trader. But the rule is you need to wait for flags. And when I say need to wait for flags, you need to wait for breaks of the flags. So I'll be doing something like this. If you want to play this, she's waiting for a flag. I think that's the 1 hour chat. Yeah. It's been a while I saw the 1 hour chat. So you want to wait for a flag. When it breaks, a very good risk to reward ratio around. So risk, sorry, that's reward. And this is risk. So pretty good risk to reward ratio right here. So that's the spot I'll be waiting on. But I'm a swing trader, so I won't be considering any of this. Although I expect it to continue up to the upside. As a swing trader right now, this is where I'm looking at. I'm looking at these zones at the top. I want to be going short when it finally gets here. And it finally gets here. So basically, that would be my setup for the week, really. So I have to wait it out for the buyers the intraday guys to push the price to this level before large orders can come in. Until then, I don't really think I'm going to have a setup on this pair. Another approach for intraday traders is before the break, some people would like to wait for a retest, but I'm not certain this pair might give a retest anytime soon. At least anytime soon before it gets to this level. So intraday traders should also try to look for these levels to, sorry. I want to look at levels like this to buy from. So if not the break of the flag, like I illustrated earlier, you want to wait for a retest. And this is just a setup. You need to get an entry criteria also for your trades. And that's about it, guys. So pound AUD, Euro AUD, pound AUD. Basically, that's all what you have for you this week. Don't forget to subscribe and like the pages. If you're interested in the mentorship course, just go to the website www.ofgbfx.com. So check out our trading and financial blog. We have a lot of educational stuff there. Yeah. All right, guys. Have a good one and see you soon. Bye bye.